Hey, first-time founders. My name is Ian Scott Cohen. I want to get your attention for just a second so I can share a very critical message that every first-time founder needs to hear. So there's a saying that captures the difference between first-time founders and those of us who have been there before. It goes like, first-time founders focus on product, and second-time founders focus on sales. So I'll say that one more time. First-time founders focus on product. A lot of your time spent on developing features because you think that's what attracts customers. But second-time founders focus on sales and distribution. And that's because what second-time founders know is that the product without sales isn't a business, and it doesn't turn into the next high-growth startup. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Well, but when they see my product, they'll get it, right? Or I just need to generate more leads and just get better at presenting. Or once I get a proper salesperson, I'll be good. Or, my favorite, the best founders figure it out. I don't need anybody else's help. I need to do this on my own. Unfortunately, none of those things are why your business is struggling to land sales. And most of those things aren't true. Now, I'm a 4-time founder and have coached hundreds of founders at this point. I'm not super rich. I'm not famous. I just love supporting people trying to create things, and I love studying this stuff. I spend all my time doing it. I just really love supporting first-time founders especially. And I actually started my career as a teacher and a coach. So I've gotten pretty good at breaking things down for folks and figuring out what can prevent or unlock growth. So here is what I know about founders. The best founders are the ones who recognize they need help, and then they go out and get it. Being a founder of a company is awesome. Definitely don't get me wrong. But your company never making real money isn't. It's terrible and scary and depressing, and I can say that from personal experience, which is why we train first-time founders. We all need to start somewhere, but we don't all need to fail the first time. But very few programs are actually able to offer sales training for founders. And if you're a B2B business, you can forget about it. There really isn't a program out there that teaches first-time founders how to do sales. So, as a first-time founder, you probably end up doing something like this. You sort of wing it. You rely on your product's amazing features and your powerful vision to land every single lead you can get, right? Anybody who gives you time of day, you're going to sell them. Does that sound familiar? Well, then maybe these will sound familiar too. All of your leads and sales are still from your personal network, and you secretly know that and are terrified by it. You've had a lot of really good calls that never actually lead to second ones. You've got email automation set up and a great CRM bought and paid for, but the leads just aren't coming in. Maybe your pitches are going well, so you think it's just your pricing, and if you lower your price, it'll get them in the door, and then you can upsell them later. If any of that resonates, or gives you a jolt of anxiety, I should probably say, then congratulations, and welcome to being a first-time founder. We've all gone through it, and it can be a little rough. You have lots of doubts, right? Lots of feelings of guilt or shame because maybe this was a stupid thing to do after all. Lots of late night lectures to yourself about how you're not trying hard enough or you're maybe not good enough for this. But the truth is that all of that is bullshit too. Negative stories we tell ourselves serve no one. You knew what you were signing up for, and you can do this. And when we get your business going, it can definitely feel gratifying and do wonders for your self-confidence. And the key to being successful as a founder is having the ability to do just one thing, only one thing: learn. That's it. Entrepreneurship is a craft. There are skills and knowledge to being good at this. It's not all passion and dedication, although those are important. Those qualities usually just mask failing businesses for a little bit longer. But the skills and knowledge you need are not hard to learn. In fact, most entrepreneurs end up loving the lifestyle because of all the learning and growth that is involved. It's stimulating and challenging and interesting, and of course, potentially very lucrative, which is the primary goal of every business after all, to make some money. Which is why you have to learn sales. Sales isn't pitching. It's not persuading or nailing a presentation. Sales is an intentional and repeatable process, a systematic way of finding and landing deals, of learning your customers' needs, earning their trust, closing the deal, and building a long-lasting and fruitful relationship. But it happens gradually and in stages, not in moments. You have to find your ideal customer and then make them aware that you even exist. You have to get them interested in spending more than 2 seconds on your post or your video. You have to keep them interested long enough to read the sentence. You have to say something that resonates so that maybe they'll pay attention to the next time they see you. You have to get them to respond to you or, God willing, reach out to you themselves. You have to learn their pain points and whether they are qualified to be a lead in 30 minutes or less. You have to get them to schedule a second conversation so you can show them your product finally. You have to get them to set up another meeting with the decision maker. You have to write and deliver a proposal with the right offerings at the right prices so you actually make some money. You have to establish a sense of urgency so they'll actually make a decision, because most sales are lost to actually indecision, not competitors. And then, of course, you have to close the deal. And then, let's not forget, you have to deliver on what you just sold. That's sales, and you need to learn it, and you know that. Now, we've worked with hundreds of founders, and the number one reason they fail is this: they refuse to learn sales. And we get it. Sales sucks. As a first-time founder, you are usually left with two choices on how to approach sales. Telling your founder story, which isn't appropriate or relevant to potential customers, especially early on. Or maybe you're trying to be the salesperson you imagine from pop culture, right? That archetype. Someone who's super persuasive to the point where you just end up sounding weird and uncomfortable while feeling like you're being pushy and ending up in the exact same place, which is no sale made. You didn't become a founder to become a salesperson. But being great at sales is not an identity shift. It's one of the many skills that successful founders learn to master over time and get help with from professional salespeople when the time is right. We teach first-time founders how to do sales. Every stage of that funnel, every step in that process that you have to figure out anyways. We can train you to do it right from the start and in a way that will only grow your confidence in yourself as a founder. This isn't one of those things you have to be an extrovert for either. Whatever extroversion or introversion you consider yourself to be doesn't matter in the slightest. And that's why the best salespeople have it down to a science, not an art. It's about the method. It's not about some mojo. It's process, intention, steps that you can do and repeat because they keep leading to a sale. And if you're generating sales, it means you've probably got a growing business, which is exactly what you want, right? So let's start doing that sooner rather than later and actually get your business going places. The last thing you want to do is wake up one day after your business has failed and say to yourself, damn, I wish I had just been open to learning more. As a first-time founder, it's very difficult to balance having self-confidence with being open to questioning yourself and learning what you're doing wrong. It's nerve-wracking, right? Because the entire venture is built off your confidence, your belief, and your thoughts. And if you admit you don't know what you're doing, you feel like it'll all come crashing down. I get it. Plus, startup programs and communities are pretty intimidating. They're filled with investors and VCs who are ready to dismiss you in just a few minutes. But that's why we only work with first-time founders for this. It's an environment where everyone is going through the same thing, and we can be honest about just wanting to get better. This isn't about impressing anybody. It's not a beauty contest or a pitch competition. This is a training ground. We teach you sales and give you the templates and tactics that you need to start having some real success in your business without worrying what everyone around you thinks about your business and, let's be real, about you. So if you made it this far in both starting a venture and watching this way too long video, then we already know you have what it takes to be successful. Now we just have to give you the skills and knowledge to make your business match. So let's take a breath, stop doing the same things you've been doing that aren't working, and let us help you become the founder you know you can be. That's it. That's all we got.